What's it gonna do then?
Hey?
You're gonna stay dry?
Doubt it.
We can hope, can't we?
Rain today, isn't it?
Wow, showers, isn't it? Doesn't look that bad.
No, it's just forecast.
Hey, that's better. How'd you do that?
Hey?
You've moved that, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, that's a pole.
Yeah. Yeah, that's better up there, isn't it? Out bloody way.
Bang your head on it.
It's Monday morning. We've got a brief break in the weather. I wouldn't call it a break. There's still showers about this week, but it's the only thing we've had recently that's anything like dry. So we're cutting a bit. Whether it comes in a cow hay or silage or whatever it will be, that'll be down to the weather and what it does. But we're gonna have a go and do a bit. I think we've got a delivery with Linda first thing, and then we're getting on the tedder, and I've got to go and do a local delivery quickly first, so I've got to get cracking. We ran out of straw again, so farmer had to buy in some more straw, and these are bale barron packs. This is how big a bale is from a bale barron. They're literally, I don't know, there's a third missing off the bale. Yeah, it opens your eyes up to what these machines are like, but I don't know. I don't think that's any good for us. Those bale barrels are quick and they load quick, but you're very limited with the size of bale you can run through them. They don't stack nice, they don't load nice. Yeah, I think we're better off with the Arcsons, if you ask me. I don't know who baled these. They ain't the best either. But never mind. They'll do the customers until we can get onto some straw. Farmers over there spraying the front of the farm there with the wheat, so he's spraying that off. That should be ready to come in 10 days, something like that. You couldn't load them onto a trailer like we do with the way they stand. You just wouldn't be able to do it. They wouldn't stand there. They would be very, very, very unstable. Every machine's got its quirks and its perks and all the rest of it. The Arcson's very flexible. You can put any size bale through it, even humongous bales. But it's going to get us out of a jam just for a few weeks, keep the customers happy. We've got a lot of things going on this week. We need to get bulls out. We're a week early for the bulls, but we want to bring the calving up a little bit together, so that shouldn't matter too much. I've got to watch this post. I'm right next to this post here. So bulls are going to come out by the end of the week. We're hoping this hay makes. We are hoping it makes. If it gets a shower, it will change the plan for it, but at present it's going to be hay. So, and it looks lovely stuff. I'll show you when we get down there. We're over at Jim's, some of Jim's fields there. So fingers crossed we just get enough dry weather just to get a little bit in. We cleared away that hay the other week into big bales. Young Andrew came and baled it with his 6-string baler. This is where it's gone. One load's gone out of here already. Same man wants it all, so I imagine once it stops raining they'll start moving this. 270 came off those 40 acres, so it was pretty good. I don't even know if it's 40 acres, 35 acres, something like that. It wasn't a great area, but it's a good crop. We're just outside the front of the farm here. We're heading over towards Astley Bridge, is where we've got a little bit of hay down this time. Just turned out the first lot. It's not looking too bad, but it caught a shower last night, but luckily we only mowed it literally yesterday afternoon, so it shouldn't be too bad. It shouldn't have hurted too much, but it was damp underneath, so we'll see on that one. This is the wheat. Farmer's just been through it and sprayed it off, so basically you're spraying off all the little bits of green that are going to make the sample tell you that it's higher in moisture than it is. So we spray off the green, and in about 10 days time we should be looking to be getting some of that in. There's a few wild oats out there I can see. We'll have to be a bit more aware of that next year. I know farmer hasn't spent a lot on this crop. Variety is called Nelson. It's a German hard wheat, and it just it's quite resistant to disease. So yeah, I know farmer hasn't spent a lot of money on it, so we'll see how it does. It was late planted, it was the last planted, and I think it's going to be coming in first, which is a bit bizarre. Every time it rains on it from now on, the straw goes black and blacker and blacker, to the point where you have horrible looking straw. the golden straw comes from having a lot of sunshine as it becomes ripe. But if you get a lot of rain on it, the straw then it goes a bit dirty and brown and black. It can get real black in the bottom. This one's got a few wild oats. In this one, that one's pretty clean. I don't know why. I don't know what the difference is out there, but that one's pretty clean. This one doesn't look the same as the others. And I don't know what the reason is, but it just doesn't look as well as everything else. You know, the heads are a little bit shorter, not devastatingly shorter. It just looks different, that crop out there. And yeah, can't tell you what the difference is. We'll see how it all yields. We've got the this was drilled with the with that big drill, you know, the power hour drill. Keithy drilled it with that thing, and everything else got drilled with the time drill, apart from the one outside the front there. So we'll see if there's any yield difference. It'd be quite interesting to see if that shows up, because conditions were all the same plant date, same variety, same seed. So apart from the field out the front had I passed a disc rating over, and everything else had a set of discs, just a heavy set of discs on them. So, as it was so hard back end of last year. Oh Christ, this is surprising how it's making. Still a lot of green in there, so we won't be here tomorrow, but I wouldn't mind betting Wednesday we might have a go on this. I was expecting it to be a bit wetter underneath, and it's not. It's pleasantly dry under there. Now, we're not far from where we last were, and that was, well, it was wet underneath. Oh, hang on. There we go, a bit damp. A little bit damp under there. But that's why we're here to turn it, get it over, turn it and dry it. But if it stays dry now for a couple of days, we could be making that into hay. It smells insane out here, real nice. Beautiful stuff. I didn't think this would take much making. Christ. Yeah, Wednesday we'll be having a go. If not tomorrow afternoon. Farmer might look at this and decide, but it's not going to take very long. That was only mowed yesterday morning, and that is quite surprising how dry that is already. We want to put this lot into small bales. This is one of Jim's fields. We got another one over the way there. We'll have a look at their crops as we drive by, because they've got some really nice crops. The guys here done really well with them. They went early like we did. We could be here as early as tomorrow afternoon. At a push, I would say probably Wednesday would be the most ideal day. You'll guarantee to have it perfect, but I will get Farmer to check this later on tonight and see whether it'll go tomorrow. I hate being the one to say it's ready to go, and then everyone gets there and says, hang on a minute, it's not ready. And I'm always early with it, so I'd rather them check it themselves. But it's about being dry. That's the main of the job. It's got to be dry enough, you know. Right, first time round is always the tricky one. We're on the big tedder again. Keithy's gone and mowed another one today. And you know, if we get lucky and miss these showers that are about, we've missed them today. They said there were showers about today. I think we've missed the majority of them. We haven't really had any dark clouds or nothing. Yesterday we had a couple, but nothing major. Hopefully we'll get a bit of luck on our side now. These are a few of the guys' barley fields. They look really well. There's a few patches in there I can see, obviously from the wet early on, but on the whole they've done a real nice job. It looks fantastic actually. It's just starting to brickle over, and yeah, it'll soon be time to get a combine out and gobble them up. But I know last year they didn't have the best of times last year, but this year it looks like they might have a better year this year. So yeah, got to be happy with that, I would have thought. Stuff's going to make some beautiful hay. This will go into small bales if we're lucky enough to get it. The cows are next door. They're right huddled up in that far corner. I don't know what they got over there. They're so strange sometimes. They've got a gigantic field and they're all huddled in the tiny corner. We got 2 more fields after this to do. These are the solar panels. They're quite new, I think. The guys put them there. I don't know what the deal is with those. They did want to put them at our farm one time or another, but I don't know what the deal is with those. But farmer's back at the farm. He's getting stuff ready for some of this stuff. I've got a feeling we might be at it tomorrow. It's so nice and fine, the grass is. It's insane how it's drying down so quick. But the grass is very, very fine as well, so it's understandable. And we're a bit into the season now, so if we could make some hay tomorrow, we'd be laughing. Farmer's trying to decide what sort of bales to do and all sorts. We want to have, we want to clear it up basically. We don't want the rain to get on it and ruin it. So yeah, might be a little bit of everything going on again. Big balers, small balers, blah blah blah. Round baler. You know, we just see on the day basically who can come and who's available, and yeah, like, as much as you want to try and plan ahead, people sometimes have got other things to do, so it can change almost on the day of what's going to happen. But last resort, we've got the round baler there, so we can round bale some up, and yeah. But this stuff is beautiful, real nice. You can see it all fluffed up there. Really nice stuff. A little bit of spring wheat on this side. Looks fantastic. Looks clean as a whistle. Does look well. All their crops look pretty clean, if I'm honest. A bit black over there, but the wind's going that way, so we might have dodged a bullet. Looks like we've got some sheep coming up. A load of sheep and lambs. Quite a few in there, isn't there? One of the fields that was put in for set aside, as you can see. Farmer's already sprayed this once, but as you can see in the bottom, some of the weeds are all starting to come back again. They're forever growing, so I can see this set aside having a good impact, you know, in controlling problem weeds. You get to spray it a few times and hopefully control some of the black grass, some of the horrible annoying weeds that are always coming through. So you might be able to use set aside in our rotation a little bit, especially for cleaning up fields. And we're on to some of the ones that Keithy mowed this morning. So this one's a bit further into the farm a little bit, and then there's one right next to the buildings apparently as well. So I can see somebody out there with a topper. I don't know who it is. It'll be Jack or Charlie, I'm sure. I think most of these have been under the July scheme. I don't know what the scheme's called, but basically you can't cut anything until July 2nd. You know, they're okay schemes, but if you've got a year like this year, you know, it's tricky to make hay when there's no weather. We're just in the last field here. I'm not sure if we're going to mow any more or not. We got quite a bit down now, so but there's a nice chunk in here. This is out the front of Astley Bridge Farm. We've done some videos over here on their harvest, so if you sift back through the videos, you'll probably recognise this one. We're out the front here where the trees are. But yeah, real nice crop in here actually. If we can get this good, it'll be a dream actually. Linda's been telling me like wheat prices have been dropping. I think they were sat £160 a tonne. Everybody in the UK now, they're getting paid not to grow food, and then all of a sudden Russia shuts the port in Ukraine for grain, and all of a sudden everybody needs grain again. It's absolutely bonkers. It makes me sick to my stomach that the people in this country won't realise, like, why the hell are we why are we being paid to put in grass and fallow than to make food? You know, you've still got famine in the world, people starving in third world countries, and we're being told to not plant crops. It's unbelievable. I don't know enough about it to really go into it all. I don't watch the stocks or anything like that. I don't know the ins and outs of it all, but surely if you've got unsettled times in Europe, it makes sense to grow a bit of food and store your own food. Surely that makes more sense than not. The other thing is, we paid the silly high prices for fertilizer, and then when it comes to harvest, the grain prices have dropped and dropped and dropped, and you can barely make your money back. It's absolutely bonkers. I don't understand what we're going to do. But anyway, that's the farmer's worries, not mine. He has to deal with all that, and yeah, just crazy though. I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that we're not paid to grow food. We're paid to grow blimmin' trees. Oh, I nearly hit a bird then. A little bird in the grass. But what a mad world we live in. And then all of a sudden, you watch, if Russia keeps that port closed, oh, we need all the grain again. Yeah, no shit. If you're on an island and you're importing food, and suddenly the world goes to pot again, you've suddenly got to find a load of food that you ain't got. Anyway, sun stayed out today. It's been a real nice day for haymaking. We had a little tiny shower earlier on, but nothing major. It's perfect haymaking weather actually. So, and a nice good chunk of grass here. So yeah, I bet this dragged old Keithy's mowers down. I bet you. All right, mister.
It's got a creep on, isn't it?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Creeping somewhere, isn't it?
Somewhere, slightly.
I'd pay you money if you could find it where it is.
Yeah. Be on that lift down. On this one.
If it's like a digger, you'll never find it.
Reach,
So this morning we've got a bit of machine swapping to do. We're going to put the tedder on. Me and Keithy are going to go tedding together. Whether there'll be any baling today, I don't know. I don't think so. The weather isn't quite there. It's not raining, but it's not exactly haymaking weather either. It will be touch and go whether it's ready today anyway, but we'll see. You never know, the day can change quick as that. Dave's been doing some topping, so I've just blown it off for him. Young Dave has been coming in after work and doing a couple of hours topping for us here and there around the crops, so that's a big help actually, because it saves me having to do it. I've just blown it off for him, so next time he can start afresh, nice and clean. He can check the machine over properly and make sure there's no faults or anything. And get this unhooked, get the other tedder hooked on. I've got to grease the big tedder. Got a bit of work to do this morning. Keithy's going to come tedding with me. He's just got a bit of hedge cutting to do. He's been tidying up around the front of the farm there and tidying up around the gateways. Anywhere we got corn that's a little bit, you know, you can't see out of the gateways because the hedges are grown up, so we trim off all the hedges, and the guys can see getting the grain trailers out onto the road. So that's what Keithy's been at. And then we've got some bulls got to come in this week. Farmer's out spraying, I believe. He's spraying off some more set aside for the neighbours. Yeah, plenty going on. Been ready to ted some hay today. It's actually quite fair outside. Still showers around this week. We don't know what's going to happen, but this has been down the longest. We're going to see if we can get on it today. If we can, brilliant. But let's go out and check it. I want to pick up the thickest. Turn it over. That there is wet in my hand, so that is going to be a job to get on that. It will be later if that's anything like. Still pretty green as well. I've got a feeling that ain't going to go. Well, I said that last time and farmer come and checked it and he was happy with it, so we might be able to get on some of the others that will cut after these. Different type of grass. These are they're still quite leafy and young, so We need them to be dry in that anyway. Too damp and too wet at the moment. Stays like this all day, that'll soon dry. Looks like the boys are working on a sheep. We're in the way again. Go on. Keithy's been having a go at some of these edges alongside the farm here. You can't go around doing everything, but you where we're getting out of gateways and stuff like that in front of the farm, we just tidy it up. Hedge trimming usually starts in September, but if we've got a bit of ragwort, stuff like that, Keithy's been getting down the banks, you know, where we get out of these blooming gateways. It's a job to see, so just for safety reasons we just do along there. Always looks really smart. Keithy does a nice job. The old man's picked up the new gate for the box right in time as well, because bulls are going to be coming in soon, and hopefully they don't break this one.